Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for March 7th through the 13th, 2022. So, I'd first of all like to welcome everyone back to this weekly reading. And also, I'd like to welcome anyone who's new to our community. And just a few things for you to be aware of. A few days ago, I posted the monthly angel reading for the month for March. So if you haven't spotted it, or if it hasn't come up in your notifications, go ahead and check. And on my channel, you may also want to make sure that you are still subscribed, and that the notification bell is also checked. I was watching another YouTube video, and the person had indicated that some people had become unsubscribed in some odd, mysterious way. So just, check. I mean, if you're watching, obviously you're not, but you might be, you may just want to check that as well. Also, I just also worked on the zodiac readings. So I did all of them in one day, which was, I guess, it took 6 hours, but I realized that when I used to teach, I used to do the same thing. So, but anyway, hopefully my voice today is okay. But that will probably be coming out on Monday, just to give some space between all of this information. So you can look out for the zodiac readings, and I know some people maybe will listen to their the video that's for their sun sign, and then some people do their moon sign as well as their rising sign. So they'll all be there for you. And let's see, since the beginning of the month of February, I've been offering my first time promotional angel reading for everyone, whether you've had a reading with me in the past or not. So be aware of that is available to you, and you can go to my web page, the angelschool.com/services. There's a link below this video, and you can sign up for any angel reading, but that one is available to you. And I feel like there was something else I was supposed to tell you about. And as I was doing the zodiac readings, I also realized too that this is like my 10th year anniversary on YouTube. And around June 4th, I think was the date in 2012 when I started. And so, yeah, you just never forget something like that. So this is all the changes that are happening as well. Just another reminder that you'll start at some point hearing me say angelic wisdom. Technically, right now it is angelic wisdom. I just haven't changed the name of this channel or started the new channel where I can apply that change. So if and when that happens, where we have to move to another channel, I'll keep this channel going, and then for a while, and then start on the other channel as well. And I will also start posting on Instagram. So there's a lot of things coming up, and I didn't realize when I decided to do this that all this was going to take place. So at this 10th anniversary year. So it just, you can see, I guess the angels are just working, as they used to say, in mysterious ways. And one more final thing is that this week, I will, or not this week, well, probably this week, within the next week or two, I will be posting for a poll when I figure out how to do that, on my channel here, on my Facebook page, and maybe Twitter, a poll of the logo designs that we've narrowed it down to, and get your opinion about which one you like. Okay, so hopefully it'll be the one I like too, right? But anyway, I just want to get some input about which one really resonates with you. Oh, so let's take a moment now and take a deep breath. And just have the intention as you take the next deep breath of connecting in with your heart chakra, your heart center, and your I am presence. And just allow yourself to really connect in with your divine mind. And they're showing me a lamp. So when I see a lamp, and there's a string, so you can pull the string to turn it on. And it's not lit for some reason. Excuse me. But this is my symbol for someone who is highly intelligent and spiritually intelligent. Now they write the word cash. So this might have something to do with getting smart about, your cash flow. So you may want to pay attention. They're saying definitely in this week about your cash flow. They wrote the word cog. So that might mean that there might be something that kind of prevents a flow for you in this week. It might be something that comes up that kind of catches you off guard. But they're showing me a tree and with a throne, like the throne of the King of Pentacles. And the sense I got from the tree is, I don't know, it felt like a vibrant fall setting, which is weird since we're at the end of winter right now. But the tree felt like it was full of life, like full of birds, singing. I'm sure you've all walked past bushes like this. But this is a tree. I must say that the trunk of the tree is a little slender than I might like to see for tree diagnostic, but the setting, the grass was full and fertile. The whole scene feels fertile with life and with opportunities. It almost gives you a sense of fall, in a sense of a harvest time. But the throne was empty. The King of Pentacles is not sitting there. It's open for you. And so I'm going to invite you to be aware of this setting that I'm seeing. And it's a stone throne. It's a beautifully ornate, not too, it's not very Baroque, okay? Not too ornate, but just very prominent. It gives a sense of total stability, total security and protection. So the angels aren't trying to set off alarms. They want you to be aware. And I feel like as you get closer to this throne on this fertile grass, and you might even feel as though that there is a division between this very fertile setting and where you were. And they're asking you to step across that line where the grass becomes so vibrant and green and good and rich and full, and you feel absolutely surrender in your heart and in your mind. And as you touch the throne, you feel the genius, you feel the of the person who carved this stone. You feel the abundance of skill and talent, and all of the essence of their being is poured into this structure, which is providing you with such a sense of awareness about your own attributes. And as you take a seat majestically in this throne, and you look out all around you, you see opportunities everywhere. You see opportunities for growth in your own life, for the world. You see opportunities for healing. And all of this stimulates activity within you, purpose, a mission, a divine assignment. And the birds are singing and chirping in the branches of the tree. There's so many of them. And you start to feel as though the crown of your head, the chakra, is opening up to this vast transmission of oneness and source, as they are singing the harmonics of the divine will and purpose for you. This gives you access to your higher self's information, wisdom, and talents. And allow the generosity of your heart to open to everything that you see beyond your reign that needs your assistance. And you know that you are supported as you sit under this tree, almost like an umbrella. You know that you're protected. You know that your finances are protected, your cash flow. But with this King of Pentacles, you are using your good common sense. You're not allowing yourself, you can see a sort of the frequency of manipulation to try to get you to do something that you don't want to do, or to buy something that you don't need. And what you're doing is you're focusing your resources in this week where they are most needed, where you're going to channel it into a project that's really important to you. So you're going to focus on what that is, decide what that is for yourself, and then focus on it and not be distracted by other things, and to not react out of fear to things that will cause you or trigger you to do things with your resources that weren't necessary. So, for example, really talk to an expert before you make a big move. Talk to someone who is maybe like a King of Pentacles if you don't feel this way yourself. Someone you know who's really good with money, who has really good common business sense. And let them talk to you about the practicalities of your investments. Even if it's the silliest thing, even if you're deciding between, outfits, have that conversation with that person. And one of the things I feel is really important about this week is that we're learning now collectively where to channel our resources. Our resources are dispersed, just like our attention. It's going everywhere because there are so many venues that are vying for your attention. They're trying to get to your cash. And you have to start resisting all of those signals. You have to, and what you resist will persist, right? So if you try to fight it, you'll just eventually give into it. So you have to come up with a clear purpose. You have to understand who you are and where you are in your life at this time. You have to look at what it is, what are the goals, because your heart is summoning you towards something that you're passionate about. And one of the reasons why we can't accomplish the things that we're passionate about is because our resources and our attention and energy is always being dispersed. Like it's scattered. And so we have an idea. It gives us purpose. It's divinely inspired. And as we start to move towards it, we're leaking our resources. And then when it's time for an action that causes for support of or an investment in your dreams or your goals, you look and you see that you don't have the resources or enough of the support that you need. And this causes you to then delay or suspend your actions in this, or your investment in this project or goal. And it's all because there's all these little teeny things that are asking for our attention. So what you want to do is, it's not completely 100% possible to do this, obviously, because of certain things like just general bills that we have. But what you want to do is really think about everything that relates to that goal that will support it and put it into your budget, write it down, have it, plastered somewhere where you can see it, put it in your wallet and put it on your computer screen and on your, and somewhere if you can do a widget on your phone, like a note widget, put it there. Put it on the home screen so you can see it, and remind yourself before you go push those buttons. That's the other thing about our device. It's not really ours anymore. So that the apps and things on your device, we've seen it, you could talk about something or write something and it's going to send you an ad. You're just thinking about it because your thoughts are sort of, rambling and they're scattered. And so when you go on your devices, you don't focus your time and your energy. And I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to myself as well, because you got to remember this conversation, I had no idea and I know nothing about any of the things I'm telling you. I'm just listening to what they're saying and taking it in myself. So we have to be aware that this is an important year in terms of momentum and manifestation, especially in this month. And we can easily just be scattered and get dispersed in our consciousness, our attention, rather, our resources. and then not have the gas when we need it to, to go forward. So put little notes where you can. And then instead of researching other things, because all of that is usually it's a sense of lack of fulfillment. But the thing is, we're so used to being scattered that in that scatteredness, there's no purpose. But you have one, because the universe is always giving you one. But we are not used to giving our attention, devoting ourselves to them. So then we fall into this consumer trap where now these devices has everything on it. The whole world is on it. Every shopping mall, I'm just being exaggerating, but in a sense, think about all these apps, right? And so now, before we had this, because I'm from that generation, you would have to get in your car, and this would mean a whole event. So you would be focused more. You're not going to run here. Even if we, like I remember we had a shopping day, then the purpose was school clothes. So we would go everywhere to get the bargains, but you wouldn't be doing a whole bunch of other things. Right? But now on the phone, you can do a whole bunch of things, which means now you can really scatter yourself in a matter of an hour. You can do a whole bunch of things. So you have to have some kind of note for yourself about what it is that you need, the investments, whether it's financially or time. You need to note what they are, and that you really have specific goals for your resources to help build and establish that. And so you will need those resources. So you're sitting on a gold mine is what this is saying. You always are, because the universe it's always harvest time for the universe, for you. But if we're scattered, it all goes everywhere. And at the end, it seems like it's gone everywhere, but nowhere for you. And that's what's important. Okay, so let's take a look at the archangel that we're working with. And so we have a seraphim. And remember, the seraphims are 12th dimensional angels. And they are seated around the throne of God. So this Seraphim Seraphiel asks you to tune into your divine will. Now, notice the energy. So usually we've seen in the cards like they're holding some object, I've noticed. Seraphim Seraphiel, his energy is royal blue. And so what he's doing, you can see the energy coming from his hands. And he's sending energy out to the world. And what he does is once we get ourselves, so the thing is that we have to, when we feel that we're scattered, we have to take that moment to really breathe and to center and to focus on raising our frequency. It says open to higher illumination. Okay? And he's writing the word expression. And it's so important that we be aware of how our souls are seeking to express itself. Communication is a part of our humanity. It's a huge part of who we are, and we do it in a myriad of ways. It's just not about speaking. It's writing, right? It's drawing, it's music, it's ideals that are building a new future, a new earth for us. It's in every detail of how you invest yourself in things that you're doing. And most of the times I just wrote the word pressure. you're expressing yourself through pressure. You put a lot of unnecessary pressure, burden on your shoulders by your expectations. And this is all coming because we're, instead of listening to what's right for us, listening to our intuition, our instincts, the insights that are coming to us in the moment, we're scattered. And so therefore, we are looking at the outer reality, and our perception of how things should be, rather than how they can be, is something that we need to release, they're saying. So we always have this idea of how things should flow and how they should go and the way they should be working out. And if they're not, we panic. And we think, we also don't take into account that everyone else around us has a particular mission to express. And they also, this is something about this expressing yourself through pressure, through stress versus love and inspiration. This is something that needs to be transformed. But these are the things that you need to be aware of, because this helps to raise your vibration or lower it. When this happens, this seraphim can touch you, can touch your heart, and help you to open up to all of your gifts. All right, so take a moment each day, whenever you feel yourself, that this extra pressure that you're putting on yourself, because that pressure lowers your frequency. Every time you notice that you're stressed and tense, just be aware of it. Also, because when you are feeling this pressure or this stress, this is when you're vulnerable. This is what I was trying to explain before about that being not being grounded, being out of your body. This is sort of a disassociation. And then you make yourself vulnerable to the influences. So you're on your phone and you're vulnerable to these impulses of, this compulsion or impulses to buy things you don't need or want, because you're trying to fill the void. Because the void is that you need to embody your consciousness and your energy, with your energy and your life force in your reality that you're creating. You're creating this reality. You can't disassociate from it, or else you'll leave yourself vulnerable. So, going back to that image with the throne and the street, this earthiness, groundedness, and also listening to the higher wisdom and illumination that's coming to you at all times from the universe. So be aware of this pressure that you feel, or this stress that you might feel, because when you don't take the time to breathe, to ground, make sure that you're in your body, anchor yourself into your body. And what I mean by that is, like, some people might disassociate so much that their feet, spiritual feet, are above their head. So take deep breaths and pull it down until it goes back to you're fully in your body. And then you can face whatever it is with the full resources of your soul's wisdom and your body's wisdom, because your body is has intelligence as well. And so we go back to that lamp. We have to turn that lamp on by being present. So presence in your immediate experience is what turns the lamp on, which creates illumination for you and focus of mind so that you don't scatter and then waste resources. All right, so let's take a look. So we have this strength card here. And I always feel like this is a number 2 of mastery, of manifestation, movement. And, it takes great spiritual strength to, and what this means is, see, we can either fight with ourselves, because what we see here is a lion and a woman, and they're coexisting in a peaceful and harmonious way. So the thing is that we have to be compassionate with this other aspect of ourselves, the aspect of us that is afraid, that is suspicious, that worries, that feels anxious. We have to be compassionate with what is being activated. Now, most of us, when we experience anxiety, we feel that, we're losing control, or that we're an insecurity is, some insecurity is being triggered, or whatever it is. But if we are compassionate with ourselves in that moment, which means as much as we want to just escape from those feelings, and they keep writing starseed, like they're just blinding me with this word in front of my face. And so they're speaking to the starseeds, because you're highly sensitive, and you come from other dimensions where things happen more immediately, right? And so there's not this waiting, and you could be, sometimes the anxiety is just restlessness, wanting activity to sort of pop off, but it's not, because it's about taking it in here. The Earth School, this linear reality, is about the process, about integration and experience and expression. All of these aspects allows us to sort of create our reality in a very deliberate manner. So compassion, if you're fully embodied and you're just being compassionate towards yourself, you're not judging your sensation or your anxiety or whatever energy you're feeling, frustration, you're not judging it, and you're not judging anyone else who is creating that for you, because that will disperse your focus, because within that energy is a message of peace and centeredness, an awareness about yourself that you need to embrace. And oftentimes, a lot of people, especially spiritually, like a lot of mediums, feel anxiety because they're feeling there's an increase of energy around them from the spiritual realm or their guides, and they're about to process that through what we call channel. And so I would caution you to, in this compassion, to not interpret your fear in a way that might be nervousness or in feeling insecurity or fearful, but think about that there's information, there's a lot of information around you that's probably overwhelming, but the thing is, the outlet for that is some type of expression. And not everybody stands up and channels in this medium in the way I'm doing it. Some of us do it through art, through writing a poem or a project that's going, an invention or a project that's going to transform the world and our relationships with one another. When our gifts and skills are surging up through us at the moment when we need them, things that might have been latent and not experienced before. And so as it's breaking through, it's like a rumbling. And your adrenaline just is what's activated in the body, your physical body, in response to all the signals that has been sent throughout your nervous system. Because now when that gift or that talent resurfaces, it has to, the energy transmits through your nervous system, which will activate muscle memories, so that you are able to facilitate that gift or talent with great ease. So it's going to take a lot of strength for us to have compassion, to seeing things in a new light. All right, let's take a look at the card for the middle of the week. So we have the Page of Water. And this is definitely saying that you're going to receive some kind of message, meaning that there's going to be something that sort of pops up from your subconscious. And this is why it's so important for us to be fully grounded and fully present in our experiences, because when something pops up from the subconscious, it is being offered as a gift, a message, a skill, talent, love, intuitive insights. And when this happens, we might interpret it as fear because it's unknown to us. And so we freak out. Especially when we're scattered and something from our subconscious pops up, we fear it because we're not fully present to be able to recognize that it's just a facet of who we are. And we're not present enough to welcome that facet of who we are. We treat it like a stranger, as if we've had a moment of dementia, right? Or something like this, where we don't remember who we are. So be aware of that a facet of your soul is going to surface. Don't be afraid of it, but also be ready to deploy your resources towards its intention and guidance. Now, isn't this strange to have the two cards that look alike? In this deck, I feel like she is almost like I can't think of what the term for this is, but it's like she is mixing scenes in the tarot. And we see here that your first glance, this is the Lover's card, titled here Love, which she also subtitles Oneness. And we see here the Lion and the woman, so it looks like the Strength card at face value. But here she titles it Love. Now what's interesting here is the difference in the gesture. Here they're standing side by side as if they're learning to walk together. And then something happens within the week. Something in a relationship might shift. Some incredible insight. You know, the page would indicate someone who's at a beginning stage of development in relationships and learning about relationships. And so at first, this page is always considered to be shy because she's learning to trust and open up her heart. Or she can be just really open-hearted and not really know how to who to trust, right? So she's learning to do that with an open heart. And of course, there's potential for that heart to be broken, etc. But here, it's sort of whatever unfolds in the middle of the week, whatever pops up, if you feel triggered in something, it looks like there is a tremendous reconciliation where you embrace either who you are, or you are able, and likewise, if first of all, you can't embrace who someone else is, you can't accept them if you don't have the ability to do this for yourself. So I feel like first, on some level, you learn to embrace yourself. Maybe you embrace your life in terms of being fully present in your life. You find a way to really stay present, to stay focused on your soul's mission. And so you embrace your higher self and your higher self's mission. And in this, you're able to truly love others and to be loved by others. And the thing about oneness, as I'll say it again, it's not about unity, meaning that we all must be the same, that the world of peace is not going to be that none of us disagree with each other anymore. That's not the new age. That never will be, because that would be boring, and it's not what the Earth School is about. But it's the compassion. It's the compassion that we learn to have for one another, the understanding that comes with that compassion, that we learn to we can listen to another's opinion and not be triggered by it. You know, we can listen to their opinion, we can hear them, and really hear them means to understand where it's coming from, that it's coming from a place of love, at least in the trying of coming from that place. And that is going to really be the peace that we have, because we will just understand that that point of view, or that person's goals and ambitions are different from mine, but it is serving the greater good. It's serving the Earth School. It's serving the lessons that our souls are seeking in order to evolve, and that we're enough, and that everyone else is enough, and together we fulfill this divine plan, that the Earth School is about, of different lessons. Now, one of the things that I remember now, they kept showing me the planet Saturn before I began the video. And so that's about discipline, right? So we've already seen in this week that we need to spiritually start to be disciplined. And the discipline really is to be fully embodied, present. This is the new discipline that we need to adapt. So, I know it's difficult, but meditation is really important. And you should set a time every day, even if it's 2 seconds to start, 3 seconds, or 4. You know, you say, well, I'm so scattered, then 3 seconds. And then increase it, or 1 minute, and then increase it. And do what I call, or most people call rather, the body awareness. So just sit up nice and tall. And even though many of you say, oh, I meditate, but you know, many of us, and you know what I mean, we do guided meditations because we're always thinking about healing and this. And so we're, you know, taking ourselves through gardens, like, you know, the vision that came out at first. Those are healing meditations. Those are not really meditation, although it's still meditation and you do get benefits from it. But the discipline of the mind that needs to take place, the mind needs to center. I'm trying to choose words. It needs to center and ground so that the soul awareness can be developed, that relationship can be developed. So that's one thing that's being symbolized here. The other thing is that awareness of the soul, as you become aware of it, then you're more receptive to its voice. This is about becoming familiar with the voice of your higher self over your ego. Because the ego, you have it's an exaggerated relationship. It's compulsive. And those impulses, the outer world, our society is set up, it's ego-based. And all the shopping and the compulsive shopping and all this stuff is because the ego has been running the show. But now this is not bringing you happiness. Your soul shift has happened. The soul is in command, but the soul will not demand your attention. You have to develop that relationship. Before, in the old paradigm, you would have had a difficult time. It was to really have access. It was always there, but our technology, was not as advanced to allow us to get a clear signal, to get a really clear call signal into our higher self. Now we have it, but now we got to use the technology. And meditation is the test run. It's the test run. It makes sure that everything is working properly. It's the check-in. Like on some of the phones, the devices, I think something on my Google device, and they do like some kind of sound in your ear to check the call quality, and you're supposed to tap on the screen and rate it, and then it makes adjustments or something like this. And this is the same process. So this meditation creates centeredness, meaning present awareness. It enhances it for you so that you start to adjust your awareness, your listening to your higher self's communications. And then when that happens, you'll have more centeredness, awareness to say, no, I don't need this. I'm focused on this. Then you won't be a consumer because that is really not what we are in the sense that it's been exploited. We do consume information and data. We process it. It's almost like, the universe is very scientific. We're meant to process through our heart and our mind, our soul, our imagination. All of these filters we have this technology in our body that works to help us sift through things, information, experiences, and choose the ones that resonate with us. And this society and the media and the ads, and I said it's intentional, but it is in a way because people have realized this is how they can make their ends meet. But they're doing that out of fear, just like we're doing it out of fear when we go buy it, when we don't need it. But the whole point is this is something we need to work on, because this is also interfering with our abundance consciousness. This is where they're really going with this. Okay? All right, so I'm going to have to stop here. And this definitely feels like a conversation to be continued. But I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful week. God bless you.